I'm going to critique this property, so if you decide to buy, design, or build a property yourself, you won't make the same mistakes. I'm Arvin Haddad. I'm the How to Buy a Mansion guy. I consult internationally. Link is in the description. Let's watch this one together.
This is what $218 million buys you in Palm Beach, Florida.
Let's pause it right there. It sold for $150 million. And you're going to find out why.
Who do you think the buyer will be?
I don't want to say anything. The people who are buying this home have donated this amount of money. They bought artwork. Is it that expensive to spend $218 million on a home if you've bought a piece of artwork that expensive?
What if Fugazi agent? This just tells me the guy's non-technical like at all. He just kind of likes the Fugazi, whatever.
Fugazi, 𝗧𝗵𝗧𝗜𝗔.
It's such a bad example to give. Are you assuming billionaire clients are idiots? Like they cannot evaluate an asset within the category of its own asset class? You have to use art or yachts or other asset classes to justify this purchase? The worst argument I've ever heard of it. They're so different. As to art, it's a regular auction, right? Prices go up, and you know if you don't pay that amount, someone is willing to pay for $100,000 less. So you know you paid the fair market value at that point. When it comes to ultra luxury properties, maybe you will get 1-2 buyers a year. And the auction, it's not an auction, it's an inverted auction. So you list the property really high, no one calls, you lower the price till you meet the market, right? So very different asset classes, horrible argument.
The island measures in at 2.2 acres of land, located in the intercoastal waterway of Palm Beach. It's man-made, built by dredging crews in the 1930s. The island was purchased in 2021 for $85 million.
Okay, it was purchased for $85 million by a developer, but I want you to pay attention to a couple of things. One, it seems like the first original structure that you can see in this frame was they've only allocated half of the lot, as if when they were making this decision to build this original home, they thought maybe at some point they want to have the option to sell the other half. I can't see any other reason why you would skew the property all the way to that side, right? Doesn't make any other sense. But the other element is that this is one of one. You know, supply and demand in real estate? This is as trophy as it gets. You have one element that you are this massive island, one of a kind. When you have an asset like this in a prime location, right, where money doesn't have any limits, how much people were willing to spend, you really don't want to cheap it out. You really have to go all out because sky's the limit. There will be a buyer who will pay that price to have the only massive island in Palm Beach.
It featured a 1940s Florida-styled home, which has since been totally reimagined and added onto, now measuring in at 21,000 square feet with 11 bedrooms.
You see this guy canoeing over here? Remember this guy. We're going to come back to him, okay?
Welcome to the island. So you enter over your own private bridge where you have security there out front. It is the only private island in Palm Beach.
Okay, I talk about approach, right, in my channel all the time. If you're a subscriber, you know that. This is a fantastic approach. You're already in a gated community. You have to go through a bridge to get to an island, right? One thing I would have done differently here, I would have kept the bridge traditional, but 100%, I don't care how much it costs. I don't think cost is an issue when you have one of one. I would have made this a drawbridge. Not just the fact that it adds extra layer of privacy at nighttime. You put the bridge up, it comes up, no one can access you through the roads at least. It creates that also a party trick, right? That even the billionaires will enjoy. It's a flex, right? Like you have a drawbridge at your property. The approach is fantastic, but it could have been better because the way the property sits on the lot, it sits at the end of the lot. It's very front heavy. This property used to be hedged from all sides and really created that privacy against, let's say, canoers, jet ski, boats, right? People coming in. They've taken all the hedge off and you have this now. Now, because you're really front heavy and you don't have much lawn in the backyard, what you could have done over here, as soon as the bridge ends, you could have hedged the property and created also a tree line around the motor court as it comes out. You would achieve two things here. You would make the property reveal itself slowly, right? That's what gives you goosebumps. The second, you give utility to the front lawn, which has no utility right now. Right now, there's like that lawn is never going to get used, where you could have put a putting green, you could have put a sand volleyball court, and really give that sport aspect to a property where you're, preserve, self-contained island where you don't really need to leave the island.
All these homes around us are going for at least 40, 50, 60 million dollars.
He's not lying. Again, that's what I'm telling you guys. When you have one of one, this could have been the most expensive property sale ever in the United States. And it just sold for 150 million. Now you're thinking, Arvin, come on, like bought it for 85, 150 million. Maybe they spent like 15 million on it to fix it up. They made a good profit. No, they lost out on a lot of profit that they could have done if they would have spent maybe, $25 million on it, because it's one of one.
Welcome. You have a beautiful rolling front lawn on your left and your right side here. The bridge then leads to your motor court, where you have two beautiful banyan trees, really adding to the essence of the space.
This sets the mood. The type of trees is really giving off that Caribbean exotic vibe. Really good.
And as you can see, the architecture of this home is a colonial style.
Okay, I would say it's kind of colonial Caribbean style, but they've made it look like a Cape Cod. Color of the door and these fixed shutters are not doing me any justice. They've done this very common guardrail for the balconies that you see in the Caribbean homes. Again, no color, right? It just really, really washed out.
Entering the home through this huge mahogany door, I mean, just take a look at this. The scale of the home is incredible. So as you enter the space, you have this open concept room. It's the gray room / dining room. But I'm going to take you to what you probably clicked on in this video for.
Okay, let's talk about the scale of this room. The ratio of width to height is off, but there's something way worse in this room, which we're going to come back to, that I want to share with you guys, because I really think they screwed up.
Leading out to your loggia, where you have a view of your 98-foot-long swimming pool with hot and cold plunge at either end.
Okay, love the pool. The fact that it's proportional to the size of the house, very important. If you had to put a tiny little pool there, a regular pool, it would have shown. But they went super wide. But a big mistake they did, they put steps on both sides, which really makes it, you can't really do laps on it. So you take the whole aspect of a long lap pool away. But overall, the dimensions are right. I like how it comes out right after that you enter the outside. It backs up with the water and the deck where you can hang out also. Very cool.
And you're standing on a $218 million island. You have multiple covered loggias, Juliet balconies, upper terraces. We have a tennis court pavilion off to the corner there.
Okay, before I tell you guys how much I dislike the tennis court, let's talk about the roof. Why is this structure, first of all, looking like a hexagon? And then why is the roof color different? Colonial or Caribbean roofs don't look anything like this. They're either terracotta tiles or wood shingles. There's just a lot earthier tones, right? I've seen gray ones, but never seen a white washed out with a dash of pink in there. It literally looks like a house they just threw bleach on to modernize it. And that just pisses me off so much, because I really wish someone else would have bought this house to, fix it up and add value to it, because they did not do the lot justice. This could have been the most expensive house ever sold in the United States, and they really butched it. Okay, the tennis court. It should have been regular clay. What is this? Manufactured artificial clay? Roland Garros clay would have looked so much nicer. That vibrant red next to the lawn would have been that classic looking. It's just, again, missed opportunity.
With a clay tennis court to my far side, and then on the other side of the island, we have yet another swimming pool.
Okay, security. I see a jet ski coming in. This is a big flaw of the property. Let's not sugarcoat it here, okay? The fact that you're in an island, you're definitely protected from roads, but this is the, intercoastal waterway, so anyone can throw a jet ski, canoe. And this property used to be so well hedged before, and they've taken all the hedge out. That to me is a security concern, because anyone could just, at any time of the day come in and come out, and you need, motion detection sensors. You need a lot of cameras around this property.
And then in front of me, check out the size of this dock. So the harbor isn't quite deep enough for a mega yacht.
That's a buzzkill. That's really a buzzkill, because you have the dock to, park your mega yacht in there, but you can't bring it in. I guess you can bring a good, tender and they'll take you there, but that's a buzzkill.
But let's make our way back inside to check out the rest.
Look at this. This is the most uninspiring furnishing decor chandelier. You didn't bring bespoke furniture to, decor this, stage this property, and you washed it out. It's like you killed the identity of the property, both architecturally and through the interior design. Horrible mistake. Horrible mistake.
You have your seating area off to the left with, again, nice gas fireplace.
No indoor plants. Very typical of, Mediterranean, colonial, Caribbean style homes. Just white, washed out white.
Coffered ceilings, giving it that very elegant feeling, that colonial style. Below our feet, we have white oak, which really gives that beachy theme.
Very narrow planks. You could have at least gone wider if you didn't want to do a pattern. Like, you could have done a pattern. This is an architecturally significant property you're trying to, preserve and bring to the modern age. You could have done inlays with beautiful tiles that give the character of the Caribbean energy or colonial. You didn't do any of that stuff.
This is the kitchen wing. So check out this kitchen. Center island here with a breakfast bar, seating for 4. Then this would be like your informal living room area.
I hate it. First of all, it's super small. You saw that whole great room? If you buy this, you would never spend any time there. This is the area, after paying, $150 million you're going to spend time in, which is the scale and size of a, $3 million home in Los Angeles.
Italian marble on the countertops and the backsplash in the hood of this range here. Gotta love a pot filler.
Okay, you only have one sink over here. You probably have a chef's kitchen in the back, but even in the show kitchen, for the demographic, there's a lot of Jewish people who live there. They will require 2 sinks. You should have had 2 sinks in the show kitchen for keeping things kosher. They did not do that.
These are freezer drawers. Check that out. Not one, but 2 freezer drawers. And then this right here, this is an ice maker in your kitchen.
Ice maker. Thanks, Eric. Thank you. Justified. 150 million. Go for it.
On a house like this, you need a few extra hands. So if you go that way, I'll go this way. We have your chef's kitchen.
Okay, I'm glad it does have a chef's kitchen, so you have an extra sink over here at least. But again, nothing inspiring. As cookie cutter as a chef's kitchen comes, like, did you spend any money on trying to renovate it to the way that, a potential buyer would do? Either when they bought it for $85 million, they either scratched their head and they're like, oh my God, we paid way too much money, we have to cheap it out, which they didn't, right? They either didn't have the financing to back it up, the patience, or the expertise that would make a one-of-a-kind property stand out and be architecturally significant inside and out.
And if you follow me this way, here's another little prep area, again with that marble, open concept shelving, and then you have your wine room here, right off the kitchen.
Oh my, don't call this a wine room, bro. Come on. Come on. This is a storage unit. You're like, oh, we forgot about the wine room. Okay, let's just put some shelves in there, call it a wine room.
Off to my right here, we've got a powder room to the left, and check out this laundry room. You've got 6 washer dryers in the space.
You do need this for a property of this size. 4 would do, 6 is even better. But I'm glad they have a laundry room this big. But more importantly, you either need a chute or another laundry room on the 2nd floor.
Marble to fold your clothes. Like, this is the top of the top of the top of the line of homes.
No, it's not. Eric, it's not. This is the mediocre level of luxury. Okay? Let me make that very, very clear. This is not top level.
And even we've got another sink here. Like, just, it's such an immaculate space that's so grandiose. It's tastefully done too, I have to say.
I disagree with Eric.
We're gonna head outside again to the loggia. This is basically everything we just saw, indoors, outdoors.
Look at this. Then the blue marble popped out of nowhere. Like, it doesn't go. What was architectural design? What was the exterior? It just blue marble out of blue, like nothing.
And then at the other end of the loggia, you have your tennis pavilion. Look at this space. Double height ceiling here, just letting in light from every angle. One of the most beautiful rooms that I've ever seen in any home.
It's not the most beautiful room I've ever seen. It's one of the worst. It just architecturally throwing it, hexagon shape at a corner. It just screws up your whole architectural elements. The colonial Caribbean style has to have symmetry. Symmetry is a big part of the design. It's kind of like, the federal style or Georgian style where it looks identical on each side. And you just threw this kind of Denny's looking hexagon shaped roadside restaurant by there. And then you didn't even set it up in a way that you can watch a tennis match. You're having a conference over here. What kind of a pavilion is this?
Let's actually take a look down onto the courts. We've left the pavilion, and this is one of 3 tennis courts in all of Palm Beach that has lights for playing at night.
Okay, again, missed opportunity. I would have definitely made it real clay from Roland Garros. You can purchase it, you can import it, and that's just a selling point. It just shows how detailed oriented you are, how much you cared to make a really special property for, you know, that person who loves playing tennis.
Making our way back though, we have a wet bar here, wine storage, you know, because you have your tennis match, you want to have your refreshments.
They should have had that outdoors. Part of the structure should have had an outside area where you sit down, you cool off under a shade, and there's a refrigerator and everything. You shouldn't be coming inside the house to get drinks for a tennis match.
And up the stairs here, you've got multiple landings.
Okay, this is one of the most uninspiring staircases. Like, I think staircases are important. A lot of people just love to put them right in front of the front entrance, which I hate. I like the fact that it's tucked in, but this is like the width, the design, $3 million home. Horrible.
And this is the guest quarters or the guest apartment. So again, out the window here, views of the banyan trees, the motor court. We have a bedroom here off to our left. Views of the Intercoastal Waterway, the tennis court down below, and just look at this bathroom. Even the guest room, and you get a view of the tennis court from your shower. And I want to show every inch of the house. I get a lot of comments saying that we don't show every inch, so we're gonna really show everything. Another bedroom.
Okay, I like the fact that there's 2 bedrooms separated from the main residence for the guest quarters. Good, you definitely want that separation.
Very large bathroom. The footbridge we came in on. We've got our steam shower and a floating vanity, so we don't lose the light of the window, but we can still have a vanity.
Oh my God. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is not something they inherited. They added this part. And when they were setting up the sink, they're like, holy moly, people want to look at themselves in the mirror afterwards. Oh, I got a great idea. Let's block the window. Horrible planning. It's embarrassing for the developer. It really is embarrassing.
This is a pretty cool area. This is like the family room here in the guest wing. And again, this is another kitchen in this house, and this is a full kitchen.
Okay, I like the fact that there's another kitchen for the guest bedroom, but this is like same exact finishes as the main residence. Like, they just went to China and bought the cabinets on bulk. Like, what did you do? You had the opportunity to make something special. Why did you buy this property? Why? To make a quick buck? Are you serious? Did you feel any type of responsibility towards the actual piece of land, the history, the significance of it, and you just decided to put white marble and white cabinets everywhere in the property?
Same marble on the countertops, and then a nice sitting area to take in the views of the Intercoastal Waterway.
Okay, before we jump into the rest of the property, I think one thing is important. When you are going with this Caribbean colonial style, one of its, I guess, disadvantages is that it doesn't give you really big windows, as you saw in the guest living quarters. So that's something you have to deal with, right? You get these much smaller windows for the architectural aesthetics from exterior.
We've seen one wing. Now we're going to check out the whole other wing of the house. So if you follow me off of the gray room, this is the executive office, separate from the rest of the home. Just look at this space. Coffered ceilings again. You have views of your pool, Intercoastal Waterway, floor-to-ceiling glass windows here with the steel black framing.
Okay, I like the fact that it's separated. It seems to have a little bit of privacy, and it opens up on 3 different directions to get a lot of natural light. A good, inspiring place to work, but again, completely washed out.
And then leaving the office, you do notice we have double doors, so you could close off this whole wing and have a little bit of privacy. Here's another peek of that fireplace, sitting area in the living room. And off to my right, to the other wing of the house. This could be, I don't even know what this would be, another sitting area.
Did you hear what he just said? He didn't know what this room was. And that just shows lack of planning from building to staging. You should have given some sort of functionality to this. You could have made it a game room. You have to do all this stuff in the design phase.
We have your elevator right here off of your double width stairwell. which leads up.
Very uninspiring again. Very typical. You would see it in your own home. Like you have the same stairway.
So the owner of this space has a whole separate part of the home dedicated just for them. So if you pull back, I just want to show the length of this hallway. Off of the stairwell, you have this hallway that goes all the way back to there.
That is not a positive. This is a complete waste of square footage. The fact that they went for this, to accommodate the previous structure and to do symmetry, they had to come up with this design and they completely butched it, and just it has so many hallways everywhere, which is complete waste of space. I hate it.
To my left, the third laundry room in this mansion.
Okay, I'm glad it has an upstairs laundry room. That's a plus.
I want to show you this first. This is your front loggia, so you have a view of your motor court, the banyan trees, and the bridge leading to your property. You can hear all the birds, yeah, it's another level. This house is another level. And again, you have not one but 3 doors that can lead into the hallway, back on in the hallway.
Of course, you gotta keep symmetry, man. You can't just put one door. It would look ugly from the outside.
Through these double doors here, this is the owner's suite. Are you ready for this? So walking in.
What an uninspiring entrance. Are you serious? Like we have to go through another hallway to get to the, bed? This is horrible. And it's, again, pretty narrow. It's not a wide hallway either.
To my left, we have this wet bar with those open marble shelves.
Same marble as the kitchen.
Behind me, this is the first closet. Yeah, this is a closet.
Oh my God. Like he had to ask, I cannot imagine how unprofessional and inexperienced these developers were to not actually build out the closet. Like if this was a $3 million house, $4 million house, $5 million house, even maybe a $7-8 million house, you don't want to put the closet in, you can make an argument for it. But when you're asking, the sun and the moon and $218 million, you better freaking have the most beautiful, customized, well thought out closet that you can think of. And look at that chandelier. Where did you buy that? Is that like Mayfair? Like you bought that off Mayfair? Are you serious?
And then off of the closet, this is the first bathroom here.
You have to go through the closet to get to the bathroom. Fantastic. Just perfect.
With white Italian marble over the whole space, and all the marble is book matched.
First of all, it's not all book match, but look, they even put marble on the cabinet doors. This is the most tacky, ugly bathroom in the ultra high end ever. It's so embarrassing. The fact that they didn't even think about introducing a different type of material, different type of finish. You just put marble everywhere because it's expensive. They're like, oh, people think marble is expensive. Let's just put marble everywhere. Yeah, that would justify the price. Like, do you understand the caliber of the people who actually buy these houses? They have friends. They already own $100 million house or $80 million house. They probably did themselves and modified it. Like, they have taste. They've seen nice stuff.
You can see all the pieces of marble are book matched, which is extremely expensive.
Oh,
and again, you have that
extremely expensive. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's so funny. It's so funny.
And even a Julia balcony, walk out and get a look
to see if your palm trees are still standing. And these palm trees are pretty pansy. Come on. Like, it's just so weak. You could have got a nicer palm tree.
So we'll make our way back through your closet. And again, I want to mention that there's speakers integrated in the whole space. So it is a smart home.
It's a smart home. This is the dumbest home I've ever seen.
And off the wet bar, welcome to the owner's bedroom.
Washed out. Like, come on. You could have, maybe some sort of a, wood finish in the ceiling. Like, come on, bring me some life.
This is one of the most expensive bathrooms in the entire world, clad in Italian book-matched marble. Every piece of marble that you see
is shit. Every piece of marble that you can see is shit. This is literally made for someone who has no taste. It's like, we're going to find an idiot. We're going to find someone who doesn't get it, who's never seen marble, and we're going to impress them with all the marble. one of the worst bathrooms in the ultra high end.
You have a soaking tub front and center with faucets coming right out of this marble, a shower with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's like 6 shower heads in here.
That justifies the price, Eric.
This is one of, if not the most expensive bathrooms in the entire world.
It is not. There's so much more elegant you can execute a bathroom than this. Come on. Come on. You've seen my other videos. You know how shit this is.
I want to point out that even the drawers are clad.
We noticed. We noticed, Eric. We saw. Yeah. Thanks for pointing it out.
In marble here. The handles.
Look at that cab. Zoom that in. That is cheap cabinetry at its finest. That is so cheap.
For the sink are crystal. On the far side, we have the makeup station again.
Oh my God. They forgot the mirror again. They put the mirror in front of the window. Are you serious? If you are an architect, I want you to write a petition that, hey, whoever who designed this property and was in charge of the renovation and the architectural drawing, bathroom and kitchen design should, have their license re-examined, because people don't make mistakes like this on a $1 million flip. Like, I'm serious. Like, flippers for $1 to $2 million price points, they would never make a mistake like this. And this guy just screwed it up on a freaking $218 million house that ended up selling for $150.
Another Julia balcony. So check this out. For instance, pop on your shades. You could come out here. You could be in your bathroom. Your partner could be in their bathroom. You could come out on your terraces and have a conversation with each other.
Yeah, that's when you know you're going to get a divorce. If you have to talk to each other through your balconies, the relationship is over.
You kind of just have to stop and really look around and assess.
Really assess what? That everything is marble? There's nothing to assess here, Eric. It's just marble.
At the end of the hallway, check out this bedroom. It's a mirror image of the other one at the front end of the hallway. I mean, this alone in most homes would be the primary suite. You have another beautiful bathroom with that same marble throughout the whole space.
Man, I bet you they've got a really good discount on that marble.
All the way at the other end where you have the stairwell.
Wait a minute. Only 3 bedrooms? Like a primary and 2 bedrooms, but it's flanked by? That's the main house? It's a 3-bedroom house? Are you serious? Are you fucking around? Is this serious? You're fucking around, right? No, I don't think they are. It's a 3-bedroom main house.
And off to my left, this is one of my favorite rooms. This is the game room here. You got your pool table here, flat screen. Kitchen number 3.
I think this is my favorite room too. You got the double light coming from both sides. You've made it a game room. Good luck finding the game room in this house because the layout is just horrible. Connectivity is so poor. But yeah, this space is decent.
At a price point like this, there's only a few people in the whole world that could purchase a place like this.
Oh my God, my favorite real estate agent.
I think the buyer will be somebody who wants the only property like this. In other words, someone who wants something that no one else has. That rare piece of artwork, that rare vintage car that they collect, and now this rare one-of-a-kind.
Very few people collect homes, okay, and not use them. They typically might fall in love with it and buy it and not use it, but very, very, very few people just collect a home just to buy it. This house was never targeted towards the right demographic. And I really believe they really got lucky for selling it for $150 million, because I wouldn't have paid $150 million for it. If you would have consulted with me, link is in the description, I would have maxed this out. I would have said, look, they spent, $15, $20 million on it, 100, 105, and then get ready to spend the $20 million with me, because we're going to change this sucker up and make it beautiful. Because it just doesn't do the lot justice.
I've sold many, many large properties that I say to myself, it's going to be a big family coming from New York. It's going to be a big family coming from California. And it's one guy who lives in 20,000 square feet. It's incredible. You just never know who's coming through. I could see it being a single hedge funder. I could see it being a family from overseas with a very important in-law that has her own in-law suite upstairs, with its, staff quarters for just her as well. So it could be anybody.
Did they try to encourage Dwayne Johnson to buy it? Are you serious? The Rock is actually a pretty good investor. He buys these fixers. He doesn't pay for top finishes, and I feel like he's parking a lot of properties to eventually flip them. When you look at how much is actually paid for properties in Los Angeles, he doesn't make that many mistakes. He's done a pretty good job.
Chris,
so nice to meet you.
Thank you again.
Okay, to sum up this video, This property never had proper planning. It never had a proper demographic. It doesn't have an architectural identity on the exterior or interior. Or if it did, it was let's modernize this, which is not a good strategy, right? If you have one of one, you want to give it character to become something so special, right? And either they didn't have the expertise, they didn't have the palette, and they thought it's too risky to do that. But in reality is if you bring the right team together, you can really execute special property that would really stand out and make it special. If you like this video, you would definitely like this one. It's hilarious. It's really funny. And I'll see you guys in the comments. Thanks for watching this one with me.